The British explorer and naturalist Alfred Russel Wallace traveled throughout the Indonesian archipelago 150 years ago. He experienced firsthand the richness and diversity of the local endemic wildlife and was inspired by what he saw to independently propose the theory of natural selection and evolution. In 1859, this work was jointly published with Charles Darwin, garnered instant recognition, and remains to this day one of the cornerstones of modern biology. However, being unable to explore below the surface of the ocean, Wallace could only peer down and wonder at the marvels that lay beneath. In his book, The Malay Archipelago, published in 1869, Wallace writes, "The clearness of the water afforded me one of the most astonishing and beautiful sights I have ever beheld. The bottom was absolutely hidden by a continuous series of corals and sponges. It was a sight to gaze at for hours, and no description can do justice to its surpassing beauty. There is, perhaps, no spot in the world richer in marine productions, corals, shells, and fishes." His words were highly prophetic, as we now know the oceans around Wallacea as the Coral Triangle.
The Coral Triangle is given this name because the boundaries are defined by the presence of 500 or more hard coral species. If you go to eastern Indonesia, you can go to a single dive site that will have 80 to 90 species of branching coral. It's not just the corals that are most diverse in the Coral Triangle, the fishes are the most diverse, the clams are the most diverse. And if you go north, south, east, or west, you will go from a region of very high biodiversity, and you will quickly start seeing less and less diversity the further you move away from the center of the Coral Triangle. The Coral Triangle, in addition to being the most biologically diverse marine environment in the world, is also among the most threatened marine environments in the world. If you look at Indonesia and the Philippines, 80% of their remaining reefs are listed as being under threat or under severe threat.
A recent article in the journal Science identified Indonesia as the second largest producer of ocean plastic waste in the world and is estimated to produce almost 1 million metric tons every year. And heavy fishing pressure places many fish species in danger of extinction. These threats can seem a bit overwhelming, so it's very important to tell of some of the success stories of people who are making a positive difference.
4 years ago, we created what is known as the Indonesian Biodiversity Research Center. The mission of that center is to create a facility that would be attractive for foreign scientists to come and do biodiversity research in Indonesia. But that biodiversity research would have to be done in the context of training local Indonesian people. My job is to make sure that more research happens in those ecosystems by training those Indonesians.
Wallacea and the surrounding oceans are very special places. Protecting them requires both resources and leadership, and the involvement and commitment from a great many people. Success demands constant vigilance and action by all of us. So that 150 years from now, Wallace would be able to visit these islands, gaze down, and still be amazed at the wonders he would see living beneath the surface of the ocean.